Hey, how's it going? It's Spencer from My Tennessee Home Solution. Just another quick blog post for us today. We're going to talk a little about inherited properties in the Nashville area. We've actually seen a lot of that recently. We're actually purchasing two right now, one in Clarksville, another down in Nashville. Get a lot of questions about it when I talk to sellers on the phone. So I figured to kind of get ahead of the ball a little bit, talk a little about it today. So there's a few things you should consider when you inherit a property, right? So the first one is you want to make sure that that mortgage is paid off. You don't want any unforeseen surprises, anything kind of, you weren't tracking, or maybe the person who owned it before you, hadn't been current on their mortgage, or, what have you. So first thing you check is always the mortgage, right? Now remember too, if that property is rented, if there's a tenant inside, or you want to make sure that it's got a good management company or a good property manager assigned to that, right? Because the property and the investment is only as good as the management. Remember that too, right? Property ownership does cost money. So if it's a rented property that you don't personally work with, that property management is going to cost you money every month, right? And you're going to pay off that mortgage every month as well. And what we have seen a lot, especially recently, is inherited properties usually need a lot of work. It's rare that you kind of inherit that like perfect property. Usually it needs maybe a new roof, some updating, some repairs, some plumbing, some electrical. Who knows? Can kind of be a big one. So I'd recommend, if you inherit a property, first thing, get a good property inspector out there. You can give me a call. I can recommend some that we personally use, some that I know in the area too. Definitely first thing, you want to get that in there. Same thing too is that if you take that property and you do want to sell it, right? If you want to put it on the market, right? That's an option for sure, 100%. But that does have a lot of inherent costs, right? You're going to have 3% for your seller's agent, 3% for the buying agent, probably about 2% in closing costs, and then it's going to have to be in mint condition. You guys are seeing the market right now across Middle Tennessee, and if it's not in mint condition, you're probably not going to get a ton of action on it. So you're going to have to put that money in. Those repairs we just talked about a little bit. You're going to have to invest in the property to get it ready for the market. That being said, there are some other options, cash buyers. Our company does buy properties as is. So that's an option available for you as well if you're interested. One thing too to consider is if you think the market is going to continue to appreciate, continue to grow, then maybe hang on to it, right? You don't necessarily have to sell the property. If you do decide you want to sell it, there's a bunch of options available to you. We're one of them. We're not the only one, but we might be a good fit for you. But hey, maybe just hold on to it for another year or two, kind of see how things play out. If you think the market's going to go down, I'd recommend selling. If you think it'll go up, I think, maybe it would be worth holding on to for a little while. Remember too, though, Uncle Sam wants a piece of the action. If there's anything I learned in the Army, is that Uncle Sam is always going to get his cut, right? So you got to think about some of those inheritance tax, some of the taxes associated with selling the property, all that kind of stuff. I would recommend talking to a tax attorney or like a CPA, something like that, an accountant. Kind of go through that, and that kind of leads me to my last two things to remember. Right, one, the last thing you always do is remember, consider all your options and compare them. Right, you've got a plethora of options available to you as the owner of an inherited property, and some are better than others, some are a better fit for you, but they all should be considered. So if you got an inherited property, got some questions, got some concerns, want to talk through some options, give us a call. You can reach us, call our company line, talk to me, or you can submit on our website, www.mytennesseehomesolution.com. While you're there, feel free to check out our reviews, read a little bit about us, and look forward to helping you out with this property, answering questions you have, and point you in the right direction. All right, have a great one. This is Spencer from My Tennessee Home Solution. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, feel free to reach out. Appreciate it. Thanks.